get to hear the story of how top persons get to change their humble beginnings. Welcome to the Undercover Millionaires podcast. And today I have a phenomenal guest with us in the studio by the name Pascal Mbaka. I hope I got that correctly. He will introduce himself so that you can get to know him. If you do not know Pascal, I'll just say go and look him up. So you know that if you are listening in on this, you are listening from the beginning till the end. Because the things you'll be hearing here today, they could literally change it for you, change everything you want changed for you. Hello, Pascal. Please, can you give us a little intro about yourself?
Thank you very much for having me here on Usual Esosa.
Esosa, yeah.
I think I've come across your post on social media before now. Uh,
Oh,
Something to do with real estate. I don't. Are you into real estate?
yes. That's my nine to
think-
five job. I saw real estate.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think you won something, and then there is this person. I think we have a mutual friend, Bolanle.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh, yes, 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 yes. She works with
yeah,
us.
yeah, I think I saw her repost your videos and stuff. So
Oh,
my name
oh.
is Pascal Mbaka, and I'm a direct response copywriter. I'm also a growth operator. I help foreign creators monetize their audience and build funnels. So that's basically it, and I'm happy to be on this podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So now let's go back to how it all started because we like to give our listeners insight into the lives of the people we bring on the podcast. So I'm not just thinking that oh, this person just came out of nowhere and just became who the person is today, but they get to know as there's a story behind this, and then this story is one that would shape your own thinking when you think about people are up there. How do I get up there too? And this podcast is about undercover millionaires. It's just simply people who are doing fantastic for themselves. I mean, money wise, and how they get, how they got to become who they are today. So we're talking about your journey right now. Before all the success, before the wins, who was Pascal? What was your life like before you discovered copywriting and everything that you do for work?
I think I've always been entrepreneurial, even when I was in school. My first business was I became a cobbler.
Wow. This was
I
as far back
became
as when?
20 back in SS1. I think it all started back in secondary school. I was fixing slippers, sandals for other students. From there, I saved up money to get a camera. I became the school photographer. I captured inter-house sporting events. You know, from there, I saved up money. I became a loan shark in school.
Wow.
Although that was not entirely, lending money to other students, but then it was just something I did. And after school, I went to Unizik. I started mini importation. There was this time electric fan, handheld electric fans was
Okay.
trending. I was importing it back then. Then Yoni Pills, that was one of my most
Yeah,
successful
I remember
products.
that.
So Yoni Pills was like the product that actually gave me an edge. I was getting it in cartons and buses, like
Wow.
so. I was basically distributing it, and from there, I think I got kidnapped, and I had
You
to
got
start.
kidnapped?
What? Yeah, I'm a kidnap. I mean, one chance survival. So that kind of cleared me. I started all over again. I didn't really go into importation anymore because of the stress. Then one day I went online and typed how to make money online, and that was where it kind of spiraled to where I am now. From that moment, I got into affiliate marketing.
What year was
I
this, please? Can you give us that's put the year into context? What year was all of this?
Okay, for affiliate marketing, I think affiliate marketing 2020 or
Okay,
thereabout. I was
that's
in
COVID.
400 level as at then. Yeah. So in 2020, and in the course of being an affiliate marketer, I realized that I needed to write sales pages, write emails for the offers I'm pushing, for the product I'm selling. I need to be able to know how to run ads to sell those things, right? So that
Yeah.
warranted me to learn copywriting. And I learned copywriting and I became the top two affiliate marketers in the country as at then. I was invited for Expertner. I don't know if you're familiar with this company.
Yes, of course. Of course I am.
Yeah, I was invited. I think I did a particular number of sales. I hit a sales target. It was unusual. Back then, people were like, I would look at people talking about how much they make with affiliate marketing. Someone will come up and say they made 200,000 in a month. They did 300,000 a month. At most, I'll hear 1 million in a month. So because I studied copywriting, I came in there and I pushed and sold 1.2 million naira in 3 days. Nobody has
Three
ever done it.
days.
Nobody has ever
Wow.
done it in there. So I was invited to Lagos, and at that point, I was like, maybe this copywriting thing is not such a bad idea. So I was working as a copywriter on my own offers. But about 2 years ago, I decided to take it serious as a freelancer. So that was how I kind of entered the industry, and then I've been working my way up from there. That's my story.
Wow. Wow. I would really have loved to delve into the whole kidnap parts, but just so that
No, no,
we
no,
do
no, no.
not take so much time. We do
It
not
was
take
just,
so much time.
it was just a challenge that made me switch from physical product to selling digital and
Digital
services.
products.
Yeah.
Mm. Was there ever a point where you felt like quitting? Like, what kept you going? Because I'm looking at your story, how you started from shoes, then you became a videographer, then you went into mini importation of physical products, and then you went into digital products. All through this process, was there ever a point where you felt like, I think I don't want to do this anymore. This is too hard. And what kept you going at that point when it seemed like maybe what you were dabbling into at the time was not working so well?
I mean, I like to look at it. Okay, now that I'm experienced,
Okay.
when I encounter challenges, I just laugh at it and enjoy the process. But in the beginning, you would feel like, oh, your world is about to crash. This is the worst of it all. Like, I'm finished and all. But now got to understand that anytime you switch into a new industry, you have to accept the fact that for some time, you have to become a fool. And
Hmm.
one thing we know about fools is they make wrong decisions. Fools they don't really know their left from their right, and they are kind of overconfident, which is not a problem. It helps you learn, it keeps the curiosity up and allows you
Yeah.
to try new things. But then, if how do I put it? I don't really like to see things as a challenge, and I don't like to see things as a period where wanted to give up, because I believe that was a wrong that's a wrong type of mindset.
Okay.
But there have been periods when I felt like giving up, and I'm glad I didn't. But now I have realized that it's just something you have to get used to.
Hmm.
It's just something you
Hmm.
have to get
I
used
like
to.
that. You have to get used to the
Yeah,
disappointment. You have to get used to
it's not
things
a
not
big
going
deal
well.
at this point. Just suck up to it. Anytime you come across a challenge, it's just a matter of time. You learn, you get over it, you keep moving.
Hmm. I like that. You learn, you get over it, you keep moving. At the
Yeah.
time when you sold that 1.2 million naira in 3 days, what was your drive? What drove you to the point where you did something that
Hmm.
nobody has ever done in Espanya? I
I'm
like the
I'm
answer.
generally I'm generally a curious person. I'm very competitive. I like to I like to I like to overdo things, to
Overdo
say.
things, okay?
I like to overdo things. I'm the kind of person that believes that this thing, if you can if you can shoot an arrow right now, you are so good. You just need to try it twice and you get it. I don't
Hmm.
mind doing it 1,000 times. I will still get it.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I just studied what people are doing wrong, saw what was working for other people, just re-engineer the whole thing, and then
Hmm.
try. You get it right. So
Wow. Study what people were doing wrong, looked at what those that were doing it right were doing, and you re-engineered, you reiterated, and it worked good for you.
yeah.
So a lot of people actually want to make it. Like they really want to make it. There's one thing I've noticed in most young people right now that I get to talk to or even see on the online space. Everybody just wants to do well. Everybody wants to hammer, right? But then when it comes to the work part, they struggle with it. They struggle to even start sometimes. You know, they have this over. Some people will listen to this podcast now and they'll be like, "Yes, I'm gingered. Let me go and do things." And before you know, after 2 days, the old ginger just fizzles off. So for you, right, what was that first step that you took? Because for every action, in all this information that they're going to be getting now, they want to try to act on it. So let's say we
Yeah.
want to help them act on it, right? What was your own, based on your own journey? What was that first step that you took? Or let me say, that step that you took at any point that changed everything for you?
First of all, there is something called the shiny object syndrome,
Okay.
wanting to move on to the next big thing all the time.
Hmm.
Every time you switch from what you're doing to another thing, you kind of hit a reset button and you have to become a fool once again for every
Hmm.
industry you get into. You have to become a fool. You calm down and learn the trade secrets over time. Experience is a big deal. People don't really look at things from that angle.
Yeah.
Any industry you come into, there are people losing in that industry and there are people winning in that industry. And the only thing separating them is one person came into the industry, tried to do backdoor, tried to do shortcuts, and it backfires. The other person probably tries the same thing, it backfires, but then they stick around and keep learning and keep learning and keep moving until they figure out what they're doing. Yeah. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not about taking a step, it's about sticking to whatever it is you are doing, regardless of how you feel. Most people do try to attach emotion to business.
Emotions. Yeah.
Yeah. So if things are not working out, you chicken out. But before you, my advice is if you want to choose a business model to go into, look at the people that are doing well. How good are they performing? Do you think you can be in their shoes? If you are fully convinced after due research, if you are duly convinced that this thing can give you this result, these people are not faking this thing, is actually real, and the other people doing it, they are not just exceptions. Like ordinary people are actually succeeding with this thing.
Yeah.
Once you are convinced, go in there, and then you are going to encounter challenges, the newbie challenges, but you have to weather it out. You have to stick to it. You're already convinced that there are people that made it through this thing you are doing now, but for some reason you're not getting results. There is something they know that you don't know, and it's
Yeah.
only a matter of time before you step up and know those things. And another way to cut down the time it will take you to know those things is to approach these people online, offline, anywhere. Read their books, watch their videos, attend their whatever it is their, go to their podcast, listen to their podcast. If they're invited to a podcast, listen to them. If you are able to tap into what they know, it will shorten the time it takes for you to catch up because you are tapping from their experience and bringing it closer
Hmm.
to where you are. But if you are convinced that you're in the right industry, It's only a matter of time. You just need to stick to it, get better at it. Over time, you will eventually succeed so long as you're a serious person. It's just a matter of time. People work out 6 months, 1 year, they are done. There's nothing much you can do in a year's time. It's very small. If you look at the people that are doing very well, they've been there for two,
You've been
three,
there
four,
for
five,
years.
10 years.
Yes.
You won't
Yes,
tell me
very
you are
true.
in an industry for 5 years and you didn't get any results. It means you don't know what you're doing and you're trying to do everything on your own. You're not learning from other people. So
Yeah.
the first step is do your ultimate research. It's better to spend 3 months doing research on one thing than to just hop in. And there is a difference between doing constructive research because you might be analyzing and you get paralyzed in your analysis. You won't start. Do what
Mm-hmm.
you do quick. Once you're convinced that this is an industry you want to grow in, you move in and then you stick to it and dedicate yourself. Not that you'll be in that industry 3 months later, someone tells you, oh, it's no longer copywriting, it's YouTube automation. Oh, it's no
You
longer
move
YouTube
again.
automation, it's funnel building, or is this, is that. Because they say they made social amount in a month. You need to be able to, like, if I had the shiny object syndrome, if I was still suffering through that disease, I'll probably be doing crypto right now because a lot of my friends
Hmm.
are hitting it big. They're in Dubai, they are
With
doing very well.
crypto.
I could just go in there and I become a newbie again. But I like what I do. It's working out for me. I just need to stick to it and find out other ways I can scale or get better at what I'm doing. Yeah.
Hmm. Thank you.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Very
it's all about
insightful.
sticking it out.
Sticking to it, not running after the next shiny objects. That's really,
Yeah.
really, really, really insightful. If you were to start from scratch today, like this very day, with none of the connections that you have right now, with no money, and most importantly, let's say no audience, how would you rebuild from scratch? Can you share something around that in like 60 seconds?
Okay. First of all, I'll pick an industry
Okay,
and then I'll
one.
head straight to YouTube. Assuming I am broke, I'll head
Mm-hmm.
straight to YouTube and I'll pick out three people that are authorities in the industry and I'll consume as much as I can from them and I'll just follow the rabbit hole. If it is copywriting, I'll go to YouTube, learn as much as I can, start landing clients, start doing outreach immediately. If I save up enough money, I can get a course, not necessarily because of the course, but so that I can get direct access to the main person, right?
Hmm.
From
Yeah.
there, I can tap in to whatever resource I can, find out who their friends are, the people they are listening to, tap into that circle, expand my horizon, and keep
Hmm.
moving. It's mainly about landing, just get clients and you learn on the job. I'll still
Get
do
clients,
copywriting if
learn
I
on
were
the
starting
job.
from scratch. I'll still do copywriting.
So let's not link it to this now. So you say you study copywriting. So can you break down how a complete beginner? Now we have talked about how you can start from scratch, right? So as a complete beginner, if you now want to make your first $1,000 with no audience, remember you are starting from scratch. Can you give us a breakdown of how you would do that?
Okay, so let's assume you've already learned the basics, or should I also talk about how they can?
No, you
Okay,
can talk about. Yeah, I think they've learned the basics from YouTube. Now, how can they make their first $1,000?
all right. So the first thing you do is you go to your Instagram profile and remove everything that screams poverty from there.
I like that.
Then go to your profile picture, change it into if it's you wearing leggings or sagging, or you're looking a bit irresponsible, or maybe you are just goofing around with your friends. You don't necessarily need to delete all these things. You can archive it, right?
Mm,
You go and brush up yourself. Now, I I can't remember the last time I worked with a Nigerian um client, but the people I've been attracting are mostly foreigners.
mm. Through
I
your
arrange
profile, through your Instagram profile.
They don't just show up on my profile. They don't just search me up on my profile. I reach out to them I'll still get to that. Don't worry.
Oh,
So
okay.
once you brush up your Instagram, you don't necessarily need to look rich. You don't need to look poor. Just don't allow someone to come to a conclusion from your profile before they meet you.
Hmm.
I don't want you to assume that I'm broke before you even, or that assume that I don't know anything about what I'm saying before you meet me. You also don't need to assume that I am rich before you meet me. Allow me to set the course of my own fate by getting in
Hmm.
touch with you and speaking with you. Then you can judge me based on that. So you don't want, you want a neutral. If you are rich, show it off. You
Hmm.
understand? But if you
Yeah.
are still up and coming, do not give them the opportunity to judge you, judge your wallet or how fat it is. That if you appear like you are humble, maybe you have, maybe you don't have, but you're not showing anybody anything. Just be neutral. Once you have that, have a profile picture that someone can look at and expand and recognize you. It's something that can stick to their head, just your face. Once you have that dialed in, make sure your name is something that can be pronounced. All my clients now call me Pashal instead of
Partial.
Pascal.
Wow.
I have tried to correct two people and I got tired of doing that. So I move with it. When I am introducing myself to someone, I'll be like, hey, my name is Pashal. Um,
Wow.
and
You call yourself that too?
just to fit in, I don't want stress. I want myself to be remembered. I want
Wow.
my name to be memorable. Yeah. So I noticed that they are not partial is easier for them to pronounce. So why not go that route? Someone I've been working for 1 year up till now still calls me partial. So why keep correcting them?
Hmm.
So I just flow. If your name is long, shorten it. If it's an abbreviation, KY, KC, BE, whatever it is, you can shorten your name. Use an English name if possible. So something that just flows with their culture. Now, you want to look at their profile. If you type in, let's say you want to work with an e-commerce coach, you can type in e-commerce coach, right? Now, this is someone that has a course, not necessarily someone that is looking for people to help with his e-commerce business. Now, from that e-commerce coach, you can look at who they are following. From there, you can now find people that actually own businesses, depending on the people you want to target, right? But from there, you just reach out
Yeah.
there and leave them a message. But you don't leave any type of message. You go to their profile, you look at what they are doing, what they are selling, what their business is all about. If there's a link in their bio, you click on the link. What you are looking for are vulnerabilities, something you can come in and take advantage of. Maybe a problem with their landing page. Maybe you opted into their email list and then you are looking at the emails and it's something you can make better. Maybe you're looking at their headline, maybe you're looking at their flow, the structure of their website, everything. If there is something there, you can make a Loom video explaining your findings. You just leave it there. Then you don't do anything. Move on. The next day, come back to their post, come back to their comment section and say, engage. Their email is already there, your inbox, your DM is already there. Just engage for some time, engage on their post and make your name memorable. Now, once you get their attention, probably them liking something you did, maybe it's them responding to your comments, you can now on another day just come back and be like, oh, a few days ago, I left you something a few days ago. I left you something. So they're in their mind, what could that be? When? Where? They will now click on your profile. From your profile, they'll see your picture, they'll see your name, they'll see your
Mm-hmm.
bio, what you do. And
Hmm.
then they can't just start scrolling their own personal inbox to find your message. They will click on your profile and click on message, and they will see what you have there.
Mm.
Now, if you send that DM to them and then you go straight to telling them in the comments that, oh, bro, check your DM, Instagram will flag you, and future comments you be leaving there will be labeled spam, probable spam, and then nobody will see what you are doing. You'll be
So
seeing your comment.
instead of let's get it straight. Is it that instead of I left you a DM, you should say I left you a message, or instead of check your DM, you should say I
I
left you a
left you,
message, right?
I left you something.
Okay, I left
I
you
left you
something.
something. If you say message, if you say DM, Instagram will know you are trying to get them to check. I sent you
Wow.
something. I left you some. I don't even mention sent. I left you something. Where else can I leave something for them? The only place
The
is,
DM.
or I can be like, I've dropped that. I sent it already.
Hmm.
It has no context, right? I sent it already. Or bro, check now, and I've already sent it. Sent what? They don't know. They have to find out. So this is something, I don't know, saying it out here. I don't know the person that is listening, but I really hope they don't abuse it. But I will
I
always
really
figure out,
hope.
I will always find better ways to go about it. So the thing is, when they come to your profile, they look at what you do, they go to the DM, and then they see what you left for them. And if it is good enough, if you did your research and the problem you are solving is important, they're gonna be like, okay, I want us to get on a call. Or you can ask them, they can be like, thank you very much, right? And you can now follow up. There are more strategies that I really don't want to, like how to follow up the whole process. I don't want to like,
They will text you for a master class. Don't worry. I mean, this one that you're giving alone is even a master class. Thank you. Thank you so much.
so,
I mean, so
so
helpful.
yeah. But if you do
Anyone
this
can
enough
even.
times, if you do this enough times, you can go in and book calls. So I have a
Mm,
template. I have a book. I have a template on the next thing to follow, the next thing to do, the next thing to do, you know, and you can close
how did
that
they
chat.
get that? Like, do you sell these templates? Do you have? I will have gotten there in a bit, but let's just ask now whether there's a way people want to actually consult you on
I
this
usually
templates.
I usually have the link in my TikTok bio, but I don't
Okay.
have it. I don't know when this podcast to be out, but I kind of disabled all the links because of my work. I've been busy, so
Oh,
I didn't want to like be tending to. But yeah, I'll put the link back up. I'll put the link back up. Link in my bio. How to land US clients. That's the title of the book.
oh, good, good. How much does
Yeah,
it cost? Can you tell us the cost right here?
it's less than 10,000. So
Wow, that is too affordable for what I know will
yeah,
be in it. Well
yeah,
done, Pascal. Well
yeah.
done. Let me link this to the next question because now those listening will be like, "Oh my God, this I can land my first, get my first $1,000." But then the issue might be how they are trying to sell. So can we give them like, let me say another 60 seconds? What's one mistake that you have noticed that 90% of creators or entrepreneurs make when they are trying to sell? And how can they fix it instantly? Just one mistake.
Not walking in the buyer's shoes. When
The
you are
buyer
pitching a
shoes.
product, or when you are formulating your own thinking, you are you are thinking in terms of what you are going to benefit. The moment you
Mm,
become selfless and think of how the person will feel, how the person will benefit, how the person will gain, how you would help the person, like it will rub off on you. Like the person would people will instantly love what you do. People are selfish. Tap into
yeah,
that
sure.
selfishness and offer them more ways to gain from their selfishness. Not necessarily about you. Nothing is
No, it's
about
not
you.
about
You are
you.
not important. They are
Mm,
important. And if you
yeah,
give them things that are important, they're going to willingly exchange it for the money that is important to you. But their problem
yeah,
comes first and their needs come first. So the mistake people make is thinking in terms of their own benefit, not the customer's benefit.
Thank you. And I'm sure that with what Pascal has said, you already know how to fix it. Put your buyers first. Think about them when you're crafting your offers. Think about them when you're even talking to them. So that you'll be saying the things they want to hear in their language and not what you think you want to put out to them just to make the money. Now we're going to ask Pascal one more question and then we will let him go. So the one question that will round off today's episode is, what is that biggest myth about making money online that keeps people broke? And what's the truth they need to hear? That's one biggest myth that you say, I need to debunk this right here, right now. What would that be?
Actually, I have two.
Okay, hit us, please.
When it comes to in the industry I am in, service industry, your degree does not matter. Nobody has ever
Hmm.
asked me for anything. The only thing I get is, can you do this? Show me proof, get it done. Or can you do this? Show me sample, get it done. So people think they need to have degrees because of how we've been trained. So they don't even bother reaching out or applying for jobs outside the country. If you can work for a company in Nigeria remotely, what stops you from working for a company in California remotely and charge
Hmm.
more? Nothing is holding you back. We are all the same human beings. You can charge 2,000, you can charge 1,000, you can charge 5,000. If a company in Lagos can hire you for 400,000 remotely and you can do the job well, very well, somebody in Sydney, Australia can do the same thing. You can
Wow.
do it without your degree. Then the
Yeah.
second myth is not necessarily a myth. I just feel like it's a misconception people have. People undervalue themselves. People are scared
Hmm.
when it comes to mentioning amounts,
How much they want to charge? Okay.
how much they want to charge. So they will start going around the bush with, what's your budget? Okay, what's your range? What's your budget? Throwing questions like that to a client, to me, is amateur. It can, depending on the industry though, but there are situations, if you read your client, you know that this person is straight for business. Tell them how much your service costs and then hold your stance and move from
Hmm.
there. If the deal doesn't fall through, you let it go. If it falls through, you move with it, you benefit. If you have something you want to do and it's going to cost you 2 million naira, the next project that comes up, say, is $3,000, and bone your face and let whatever will happen happen. That is how I got my
Yeah.
first 500. That is how I got my first 1,000, my first 2,000, my first 4,000 deal all at once. They get like, the person that I even told $4,000, he did not even pay 50% upfront. He paid everything upfront, complete. And I
Wow.
was initially trying to charge him 1,000. Somebody just told me, bro, what are you doing? This is a lot of work. Tell him 4,000. Told him 4,000. And then he was like, sweet, let's move.
Wow. Wow, wow, Pascal, thank you. There are two questions I will not want you to answer because I'm sure that it will be in your book. I'm sure one will be people who want to ask things. I mean, people will be curious on things like, oh, okay, for me to work for a client abroad, do I need to know about how they do things over there? And second thing might be, before I start charging really high, do I need to gather reviews? These things are in your book, right, Pascal?
What's the first one again?
Like for me to work for a client abroad, I need to know how their terrain operates before I can do business for them.
It depends on the for copywriting or for general service.
Yes, for general service, you're offering any service to anyone, maybe a company abroad, whether
When
in
a
sales, whether
company
in copywriting.
when a company approaches you, they believe that you're an expert and you know more than them. If you place yourself below your job, below the problem, it will seem like you're an employee and they're directing you on, click this button, click this button. But when you come in as an expert, right? You are doing
Yeah.
UI UX. You are not just accepting a job and taking instruction. You are giving directions based on the fact that you're an expert. You are giving the directions on how things should go. So you saying that you need to adapt to their whatever, whatever. You are the one doing the job. So you are seeking results. You just need to ask them, what do you need? And because you're an expert, because you are good at graphic design, because you are good at copywriting, because you are good at video editing, you just get the job done based on what they want. You don't need to seek permission on. If you now submit it, they can tell you, oh, this is what I want you to do. This is what I don't like. You fix it. All these things are just mental constraints holding people back. All of
But
us are
these
the same.
things, they're in your book, right, Pascal? Yeah, this all these things you just talked
A lot
about
of
now
it,
and
a lot
more.
of it is a lot of it is in my book.
Let them go get your book. No need
Yeah,
to
and
spill the juice anymore.
the second one you asked is what?
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about it because I want them
All
to get
right.
that book. It's about reviews. Like I was asking if perhaps you
Oh,
need to gather enough reviews before you can
come
charge
on.
very high.
It's
But if
just
it's in your
something
book,
that holds people back. For a client that paid me $4,000, I did not have a review. What I did instead is I don't really get keep information, to be honest, right? If we're on the podcast, it's my duty to deliver value, irrespective of whether they are bad. There are lots more in that book that I can't even exhaust here. So
no.
i- if you don't have reviews, or you can do a sample project for the person, or you can send a sample copy. If their landing page is not so well, you write the landing page before approaching them, having the full confidence that they're going to accept that you do the job. If it doesn't work out, it's a wasted time. You live with it, you move on. But you need to
Mm,
come prepared. If it's an email copy, you do the entire job and show them the sample. This is it. You don't just show them sample from people you've worked with. If somebody is into fitness and you're showing them sample for relationship coach, doesn't work. If they're a fitness coach, you need to give them sample for fitness coach. And if you can write the sample tailored for them only, that will even be better. If it's a graphic design for a company, don't show them graphic design for another company that is doing real estate. Meanwhile, they are selling detergent. Maybe you are doing for
mm,
Ariel. Maybe you are doing for Wow. Design for Wow, then present it to Wow and hope that
yeah.
you get hired by Wow.
Wow.
It's not
Thank
about
you.
testimonials or reviews. Show your own personal workings.
So Pascal says, show your own personal workings. You don't have to think that, oh, I don't have reviews, so I can't charge high. Pascal, thank you so much. So we had Bruno on the podcast that was, I think, last 2 weeks. And before that, we had Dio. And both of them, because what we do usually before we allow any guest to go, we ask, okay, who who are the persons that you can point us to and say, we need to have this person on this podcast based on the questions that you asked us, Esusa. This person needs to be on the podcast because their story can really help other young and coming people out there. So Bruno mentioned your name. Dayo Lajure also mentioned your name. So now that you are here, we also like to drop names. Who are those that you know that if you bring them on the Undercover Millionaires podcast, they will have so much to share for the up and coming out there?
All right. I have Naya Walter.
Naya Walter. Okay,
Yeah.
noted.
His face is very familiar. You would know him.
So I will definitely go find them.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other
Yeah.
person?
Uh, this person is the real undercover millionaire. So I doubt if he would want to even come out. He doesn't want to be in the limelight. Actually,
At
he
all,
doesn't
like zero
at
limelight.
all, at all, at all. He's. I don't want to overhype him, but he wouldn't want to. Like I'm just
Okay.
saying, someone that is in my head, he wouldn't want to.
Maybe I'll have to text you if you can give us the name off camera and we can see if you if you accept to come or not. All right.
Probably.
Thank you, Pascal. Where can we find you on your socials? Where can we look for you? Where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram as the official Pascal. I am
Okay,
on
official
X
Pascal.
as Mbaka underscore Pascal, and on
Okay.
TikTok, um, hold on, on TikTok I am Pascal underscore Mbaka.
Pascal underscore Umbaka. Noted.
Yeah.
And aside your book, is there any other product you have out there that people can key into?
I'm rolling out a copywriting course. Okay, that was 2 days ago. So the modules are still coming out. Like I have about 6 modules complete, and I have like 3 more modules to go. People are already gotten the course, and everything can be found link in my bio on TikTok.
Okay, great. Link in bio on TikTok. It's been an exciting 40 minutes. Gosh, even I learned a whole lot. Thank you so much, Pascal. For all people that have been listening, thank you all so much too. And watch out for our next guest on the Undercover Millionaires podcast with Esosa.
Thank you very
So,
much.
okay, so I'll stop recording. Pascal, thank you again and again. I've saved your number up. I've added it to my